Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary, and today we're on the floor. You see my Scooby-Doo socks? See? It's got Scooby-Doo. So anyway, I am doing Rachele's from Amethyst Ascensions, her April hashtag, which is hashtag Spring Clean with Rachele. This is the week 1 prompt. So it's cleaning, dusting, doing inventory, deciding what's staying, what's going. So the first week is taking stock. So I'm not going to do tarot, but I've got crystals. And I actually started this before Rachele's stuff, or before her video even came on. So I want to show what I did. Now, I've done a how I store my crystals video before, and this is sort of an updated version. It's basically the same, but I've done some changes. I'll show you my spreadsheets. I'll explain the stuff that's in storage, all that. So, let me scoot these. Let me go up a little bit too. Okay, so what I use for my tumbled crystals are, let's see, yeah, this one is a craft organizer, and then I think they've got one more, and then the rest are fishing tackle boxes. I honestly like the fishing tackle boxes better. As you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trays here, and they've got, this is a new thing I added on the side. So this 35 to 54 is, you can see each slot is numbered. So it's 35 through 54. And I'll show you my spreadsheet here in a little bit. So just remember this. I'm going to switch to a desk type setting here in a little bit after I show you the trays. But so this is the craft style one. You can see it's got the removable little thingies. I will say the craft one, these don't move as easy, but at the same time, sometimes it's a little harder to get in here. Sometimes that's true on the tackle boxes too, but this one, it's mostly set up for like beads and buttons and small things, and then there's these bigger ones here too. But I like this, but I kind of prefer the tackle box ones. And let me show you. So this one, XPS, this one is from Bass Pro Shop, but I don't think they make this one anymore. So this one, I don't know if you can tell. See these little slots here? These can move, so you can make these slots however big or small you want. Now about this size here, this fire agate is, that's about as small as you want to go for these trays, because it's hard to get stuff out. And now recently, this one used to be way fuller, and I think my last Bliss Crystals video, I bought a bunch of tumbled crystals, and I ran out of space, so I added 3 trays, and did some major rearranging. And so now every crystal has its own slot. Well, not every type of crystal, except for a few, which I will show you here in a little bit. I don't think, yeah, there's none in this one. So like this right here, this is all Mookite. Here's my Bumblebee Jasper. Here's Copal. honey calcite, zebra jasper, Dalmatian jasper. These two used to share a slot. Or I think it was the zebra and the bumblebee actually were the ones that. And then here's red tiger's eye. It used to be I had all my tiger's eye in one slot. I think it was in a different tray, but this one right here, I think this is, oops, see, I'll get to that here in a minute. I think that the crystal I'm working with this month goes in that slot, but I'll show you how I tell that here in a little bit. So this one, I like that you can change it, but also the dividers are really easy to move, and I don't like that. But I really love that I can go as big or small as I want. Now, I don't know if you can hear the wind, or not the wind, well, yeah, a little bit of the wind, but it's raining outside. It seems like I'm always talking about the weather here lately. Oh, here's another. So this one's 76 through 95. This has got a lot of bigger ones. This is one of those craft ones again. It's like, this is my tourmalated quartz, dragon's blood, volcano agate, ametrine. I got pink opal, blue opal, all sorts of stuff. Pink tourmaline. Alright, so that is another craft one. And then we've got the Plano style. Now this is a skinny Plano. This is 55 through 75. This one's really good for little crystals. It's like my prehnite, my grape agate. It's good for the stuff that's, I've got a few bigger ones in here, but like tumbled stuff. This would be really good if you had a lot of like chips or tiny stuff. Like I've got all this moonstone in here, and garnet. I've got this little baggie of chips, and I kind of like keeping them. It just kind of gives them a little bit more protection. But you know, if I dumped those out, it'd be totally fine. So these thinner ones are really good if you've got chips or small tumbled pieces. Now the Plano ones, and this is good in my fishing gear too. Sometimes the latches pop off, and that annoys me. So then, this is slot 96 through 119. Oh wait, on that other one, I forgot to show you. So when I said that each type of crystal has its own slot, but there are a few that share, this is one of those examples. I've got my angelite and my Apache tears stored together, and that's because they pretty much are always together. I use them together, you know, for grief work or whatever. Sometimes I use the angelite on its own, but if I'm using the Apache tears, I usually have the angelite, and that was just kind of a, they've always been stored together. They pretty much always get used for the same thing. So I did keep those together, and I think that was, there's one other I know of. Well, I'll show that when I get to it. Okay, so then shields. These are awesome. You can get this in a 4-pack for like 20 something. I can't remember what it is right now, but I think it was only 20 something. And I love these. The latches are really good. The dividers up to, let's see, the top row, I think it's until, okay, so So these, I had to look because I couldn't remember. These 2 top rows, only these side pieces move. And you can see that I've got all the labels on the side there. And then on these bottom rows, the side and the bottom, you can adjust those. So like, here's all my malachite. This here, this is kryptonite. It's fun. It glows in the dark. It really doesn't have many properties, but it's fun to say I own a piece of, it's man-made, and it's fun to say I own a piece of kryptonite. Oh, here's flower agate. I've got all my flower agate, unakite. This was one of the main reasons I had to get bigger tray, was because my unakite was all on a small, but then I got this piece and there was no room for it. Same with my tiger's eye. I have a bunch of tiger's eye now. And there are some, like my watermelon tourmaline. It could really actually benefit being in that smaller tray, but there was no more room. Here in this slot is my small pieces of black tourmaline, some hematite. Oh, this got moved. That one should be there, I think. Nope, because this all should be there. My smoky quartz leaked out. I think it was when I was messing with the stuff. So there's that tray. And then here, this one has open space. Look at all those openings. And then there's ones like this mahogany obsidian. This slot is excessive for this piece, but I know someday I'm going to get more of it and I want a bigger piece, so that's planning ahead. Now the other slot that shares, and I don't have it. Oh, it's because I'm getting ready to. So this is blue goldstone, and it's I put all my goldstone together, so I've got 2 pieces of red goldstone, but I need to record that video because I worked with the red goldstone in March, and I need to record that video, so it's still it's still out. But I keep all my goldstone together because it's really similar properties. The blue and the red, and I found out there's green. More about that later. I found out, well, they all have similar properties. Between the 3 colors, there are a little bit of difference, but they're all basically same. So I keep them. I keep those together just because they're so similar. There's not really a purpose in keeping them separate. And then I've got, bigger pieces, which I really liked having the bigger pieces in spots. This is my peacock ore. Yes, that's all natural. And it fits in there one way. And then I've got some pieces of just colored glass that are kind of fun. And my blue tiger's eye. So all the tiger's eye has its own slots now. So this is a deep one. And you can see 144 through 158. So I have 158 slots for crystals. This one, when we get a house, this one will get rearranged quite a bit because, for example, this whole slot, this is my big chunks of black tourmaline that will go in the 4 corners of our property. So all of this will get taken out. And then, let's see. The little bottles, I've got plans to do some stuff with the chips. And then I'll take the bottles out. But for it, I think, this will get put out on display. My abalone shell. It's so pretty. What else? Some of the selenite bars, or I guess they're called wands, they'll be put to use. This big piece of amethyst is going to go out on display. I want this out, but that'll have to wait. And then, oh, that's another bottle. This will get changed later. Right now, this works good for, and this was kind of one of the big things I wanted to do when I redid my system just not too long ago. And it works great for, you know, our small living space. So Rachele was really focused on, so this is for spring cleaning. So Rachele is focused on cleaning up. Hers was her shelves with her tarot cards and doing an inventory. And then going through and see what you have, what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of. Just, you know, making your collection what you're going to use. Now, I'd already started this before Rachele started this, the hashtag. So when I saw her video, I got really excited because I thought I wanted to do a video on this, but I didn't know how to make it make sense. So after I did the reworking of my trays, now I used to have them. I think I got rid of them. Yeah, I threw them away. But I used to have, so like you had slot 1, and then I had amethyst. Slot 2, clear quartz. And I had them written down. And that was fine. But then when I started doing the videos where I, you know, pull the crystals for, the crystal recommendations for fictional characters, that one really, as I'm going through figuring out what crystals to use, I was having to figure out where the crystals were. And I'd have to go through the card line by line to figure out where they were. And then when I went to put them away, it was the same thing. And actually, I'd started writing down on my notes, I wrote down what slot they went in to make it easier most of the time. Sometimes I forgot. And because I was so focused on finding the crystals that I forgot to write them down. So I kind of started this when I originally started using the trays, but I never followed through with it because I liked having the cards, and it just made sense to have the cards when my collection was smaller. Now that it's so big, it wasn't working. I was having a hard time. It was frustrating, I guess, is what it was. So I came up with this. It's a Google spreadsheet, and my ring light is going to be a little annoying, but hopefully you can see I've got the slot, the crystal, and then what shape or shape is the word. So I've got tumbled, point, palm, raw, sphere, tower, heart, generator, chips, a cluster, egg, wand, and then notes. And what I'm using the notes for is like, well, I haven't yet, but I'm going to, if I've got a piece in a like a money bowl or something like that, a manifestation bowl, I'll put that a tumbled piece is in a money bowl, or maybe there's a tower on or a generator on a crystal grid. So then I go through in each slot, like rhodochrosite, I've got a tumbled piece in slot 1, and it goes through all my slots down to 158, where I've got my wish stones. And you can see the X's. I don't put how many I have of each. I I was trying to do that, and it just got, it was hard to keep track. And then look at all these open spaces. I got open spaces that need to be filled. And then if I'm looking for, okay, so right now it's in order by slot. So if I'm wanting to know what's in slot 7, I know that's my piece of K2. Now, like when I'm doing videos and I'm trying to find a bunch of crystals, I can organize it in alphabetical order. So if I'm looking for, let's say sunstone, I know my sunstone is in slot 41, and I can go to that slot and get it. And then when I'm putting it away, if I'm trying to figure out where my turquoise goes, I can just look it up and say it goes in slot 52. Let's talk about my stuff that collection that I bought. I'll link that video. Hopefully I'll remember to link that video. Filming Hillary, editing Hillary, and posting Hillary are 3 completely different people, and sometimes they don't communicate very well. So hopefully editing Hillary remembers to tell posting Hillary to put the links in that I've talked about so far. So that huge collection I bought, I made a spreadsheet. This isn't the spreadsheet that I made. This is a different one that I copied over. I was trying to figure out how to, when that collection is out of storage, how to organize it as well as I've got my tumbled organized. Well, I had this spreadsheet where when I went through the entire collection and wrapped it up and put it in storage, I made this spreadsheet where I numbered each crystal. So here it's numbered, and then I put what it is, the shape. I'm trying to look through the camera lens. So weight, if it was like a tower, a raw piece, or something like that, I put the height, the width, and the length. And then if it's a sphere, then I did the circumference and diameter. What tote they're in, and I'll put a picture, try to remember, editing Hillary, put a picture of the totes all stacked up here so they understand. I have a picture of each crystal, and when I copied it over to this tab in this document, the pictures, they must have been too big because they didn't copy over. And then I had more stuff that I got rid of, like price, if it was sold, stuff like that. So I know that if I'm looking for a specific, like this purple fluorite sphere, I know that I can find it in tote number 1. Now eventually when they are out of storage, I can get rid of this tote column, but right now it stays. Now what I'm going to do is, once they're all out, I want to label them in some way. So I was trying to figure out how to do that. I'll use this piece here as an example. This piece, this black tourmaline and this black tourmaline, this is my most favorite piece of black tourmaline. This is, I love this piece. They go by the front door, or the doors. Right now they're by, we've only got one door inside to come in. So they're both there just because that's, I wanted to put them both there. Eventually they, like, this will be put by the door we use the most, because this is this is my piece. I trust this piece. I worked with this piece forever. This is my good piece. This is my strongest piece of black tourmaline I own. And then there is this piece, this beautiful tower I won from Bliss Crystals, and I still can't believe I won this piece. I love this. So what I'll put like, these little stickers. You see, this is what it is. These are supposed to be okay for, they're not supposed to damage the crystal. Now most of them aren't, most of the like towers and stuff aren't, they're not polished on the bottom, which is fine. But I want to put the number that corresponds with this list on the bottom. So on the towers, I'll put the label on the bottom of a tower. Raw pieces, I don't think there's just no really good way to put a label on here. So where it says number, I'm just going to put raw. Spheres, I'm going to put a picture of a sphere on a stand here. Remember editing Hillary to do that? And on that, I don't want the label on the sphere. I want to be able to turn it, and if I'm feeling that this whatever sphere I'm putting on, if I feel like I want to turn it some reason someday, I don't have to worry about the sticker showing up. So I'm going to put it on the bottom of the stand, and then just hope that the stand and the sphere never get separated for some reason. So I was thinking, I've already got them numbered. What I'm going to do is when I take them out, I'm going to leave these numbers on them. Now these green ones, these are the ones that are for sale, and some of them have sold. I'm going to take those out, and ones like this, like number 4, since I'm not going to keep this purple fluorite alligator, number 4 might become this black tourmaline. I think this is more of a generator instead of a tower. So I can keep track of, I know that this is labeled, so in case someday I can't remember what it is, I can go look at my list, or I can look on the bottom of here and see the sticker that says number 4, and then look, see number 4 is, it'll say black tourmaline, generator. And I think I'm going to keep, I don't know about the weight. Alright, the furnace kicked on, so I had to take a break. But like I was saying, I'll have the number, the crystal, or what it is, the shape. I'm going to keep, I don't think I'm going to keep the weight, maybe though, because there's a few that, I don't know, we'll see. I am going to keep, in the measurements, I'm going to keep the height or the diameter, just as another way to identify in case something gets mislabeled or something. Eventually I'll be able to get rid of the tote number, because hopefully they will all be out on display. I'll have the picture. I'm going to, instead of the tote, I'm going to put location, and that way I can say my black tourmaline tower, this labeled number 4, it is by the front door. I also, while I took a break, I went and pulled my selenite bowl. So this might be, I put this 5 sticker on the bottom, and selenite bowl, I don't know its measurements and all of that, on my dresser, because eventually I want to have this bowl where I you know, empty my pockets and stuff at night, take my crystal bag that my daily carries and put that at night, just so that it kind of gets a charge and a cleanse at night. If you have any questions about my system, put them down in the comments. And if you want to follow along with Rachele's videos, as long as Posting Hillary remembers to put it in the description, her video should be in the description. Go check out her stuff and anybody else doing it. And I think I'm gonna go take a break. I'll see you next time.